We got flip action on the Plains. Huge news is five-star wide receiver Cam Coleman has flipped his commitment from Texas A&M to Auburn. Cam Coleman, Phoenix City, Alabama. He goes 6'3.5", 185 pounds, the number 3 ranked wide receiver in America, the number 12 prospect overall, another 5-star for Auburn. We're going to break it all down. But first, Auburn fans, hit subscribe. Exciting times. Auburn's doing it right now on the recruiting trail. They are red hot. You want to be a part of it? Hit subscribe. All right, let's bring on Jeffrey Lee from Auburn Live. Jeffrey, what is Auburn getting in Cam Coleman? How good is he?
Well, in Auburn's wide receiver room, he's a day one starter. He is a guy that can come in and change that room immediately. He raises the floor. He raises the ceiling. He's a guy that Auburn could have used this year. He's a guy that can – the 50-50 ball that Auburn likes to throw, that Hugh Freeze likes to throw. And they've tried this season, but they just don't have anybody that can go up there and get that. They don't have anybody that can go up there and win that one-on-one battle. Cam Coleman instantly changes that. He is a guy that's going to be an immediate impact player as a freshman and was a must-get for Auburn. Not a must-get, I should say, but, man, huge get. It really changes the trajectory of that passing game under Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, it really does. And if we think back to May into June, we all felt really good about Cam Coleman training to Auburn. Then he did something that nobody expected in early July, and he committed to Texas A&M. Why do you think Auburn ultimately is the pick, though, for Cam Coleman?
Relationships. I think Marcus Davis, I know Hugh Freeze is going to get a lot of credit for this because Hugh Freeze was absolutely involved. But Marcus Davis, the wide receivers coach, has built such a strong bond with Cam Coleman, and not only Cam, but his family, his father, all of his family members. He's gotten good relationships with. I think Jimbo Fisher's firing at Texas A&M certainly didn't hurt Auburn's chances, but I think proximity to home, and not so much was a huge advantage for Auburn, but not so much because Cam wants to stay close to home. I think the proximity to home was an advantage for Auburn, because he could get up there so easily and so quickly. It wasn't, it wasn't like he had to spend a weekend to get down to, Tallahassee or out to Texas A&M. He could ride up to Auburn anytime he wanted to. And you think back to the Ole Miss Auburn game, he was there for the first half. He left at halftime, and it was emergency. And I'm thinking, yeah, we've heard that one before, right? But since that visit in October, he visited Auburn 3 times the next week. He visited Auburn twice in another week, and then was able to go back in mid-November for another visit. So it was easy for him to get up there. That was the advantage Auburn had when it comes to proximity to home. Absolutely used it and used it to their advantage, and I think it was a big reason they were able to flip him.
Yeah. And, I know Jimbo Fisher gets fired toward the end of the season, and a lot of people might chalk this up to flipping Cam Coleman from a vulnerable commitment list. But honestly, I think this was going to happen all along, regardless if Jimbo Fisher got fired or not. So, Jeff, what type of impact does Cam Coleman make at Auburn next year as a freshman?
If you look at the wide receiver class Auburn is signing with Perry Thompson, with Malcolm Simmons, with Bryce Cain, these guys are exactly what Hugh Freeze has wanted in his wide receiver room. He tried to go to the portal this past offseason. He got some guys. They just weren't up to the standards of a Hugh Freeze wide receiver. Hugh Freeze loves these big wide receivers. He loves the one-on-one matchups. He loves throwing the 50-50 ball mismatches. And Cam Coleman is going to allow him to do that. And not just Cam Coleman. You could sign a wide receiver class of developmental guys in Cam Coleman. It doesn't really change the trajectory of the passing game like a Perry Thompson on one side, Bryce Cain in the middle, Malcolm Simmons in the middle, Cam Coleman on the outside. This wide receiver group is what's going to make Cam Coleman even better than what he could have been if he was just the lone, stud in the class.
Yeah, that's a great point. This isn't just about landing one great wide receiver. I mean, Auburn has a whole stable of them coming in together. But today, we're here to celebrate the commitment of Cam Coleman out of Phoenix City, Alabama, the number 3 ranked wide receiver in America, the number 12 overall ranked player according to the On3 industry rankings. So Jeffrey Lee, thanks for stopping by today on the Inside Scoop and breaking down this huge flip.
Absolutely, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.